Okay, I took the surface that we were using in our last tutorial and I actually rebuilt it again and I made it 10 by 10 because I like to have a really simple surface to work from when I'm pulling my pulling shapes from a surface. I like to keep it really simple. It really helps the process and makes things a lot less complicated going down the line. But as you can see, and I'm going to bring in my foot here, there are some things that we need to change in order to get this to work a little better for us. And I'm going to go through some of the things that we can do now. I showed you how you could use the control curves with history to modify your shape. But now I want to get into a little UV sculpting, okay? And what we can do through the UV sculpting process is to turn the points on to for our surface, and you can begin to see some of the control points for our surface. And I'm going to start here in the right window, and I don't like the way that this area right here curves in. I want to curve that out a little bit like that. I want to shape that out a little bit. And what you can begin to do is that you can actually begin to sculpt or to deform your UVs. And here, I want to get this curve right here, and I want to pull that in a little bit also, so that that flows nicely. And I can work point to point, as you can see here. You can see here how this dip right here is a little bit off and the shape's not really clean. We want to fix that. And I'm going to see if I can set my view to the left. And what I want to do, I want to sort of clean this up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple strategies that you can use to achieve that. Let's take a look in our perspective window, because that sort of gives us an idea. And you'll notice here that this point right here is the one that controls the center, and I want to get that one straight. And so here I'm going to turn on my ortho snap so we can keep everything else right here. And I'm going to move this across. Okay, and I'm going to move this one over a little bit like that, so that we sort of refine that shape a little bit. And I'm going to come over here and take a look at this there, and sort of getting a little rip in the surface here. And don't want that. And so let me go back to the left here, move this over, move it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you another way that we can achieve this. But some of the things that we can do, remember before, if we want to straighten out some of these control points that are on different levels, we can use our set point command to get those set in, to shape that, get those, do a similar thing there, to sort of refine the shape there. I'm going to grab these here and do a similar thing there, so that we get good edge flow there. And that's looking a little bit better there. Another method that we could use, as you can see here, I got a little dent in the surface here. There's a wonderful command called move UV in that brings up a window that we can use to select points. And here, normal, N stands for normal. We're going to move this with the normal of our surface. And we can actually use this to move our points in and out like so. So we can begin to shape there. And if you bring up your select points window, I can go to the next point in U, which is the one over here. I can grab that, and I'm going to move that along the normal in this direction to bring it out, so you can really begin to finely sculpt your geometry. And I'm going to move that in the other direction. Okay. You can also use the same command if you want to select a whole set of points. You can come over here to select U, and it selects all the U parameters along that curve, and I can then take them and use my normals to either bring them in or to push them out to shape it in that way. So you can really get in there and sculpt your object. And this becomes kind of important along the bottom here. When I click here on the bottom, and I'm going to select everything in U along the bottom, and I can then use this command, sort of push those out a little bit. And what's nice about the command is that I have that set. Now if I go to the next U set, or the previous U set, it moves up. Moves up. I select one here, and I do a select U. Selects all of those, and I can globally move those along the normal to sculpt there. And then I can get in there individually and grab one like here. And let me go into my right window, right side there, and I can shape that like so to soften that. And I can also come in here and drop that down a little bit, and I'm going to bring this in just a tad like that to shape that. And let me go along the top, and here I'm going to go to the next U. I'm going to go previous, next over here, and I can use that to begin to shape this, and go to the previous one there, or next, come over here and shape that one, to begin to get this to fit a little better there, and to make this a little bit more proud. And I'm going to take this one. I need to push this one forward a little bit, I believe. I think if I bring this one forward a little bit, I then cover that area right there, and I can take that like so. I'm going to take that one, I'm going to flatten that out, flatten that shoe out a little bit, and grab these two. I'm going to bring those in a little better so that it begins to fit the profile of the shoe a little better. Okay, and you can use this command. There's some really wonderful things that you can do with it. Like if you come over here and select a set of U's, there you can really, if you want to have fun with it, you can begin to sculpt out your normals. And really have fun beginning to sculpt out some of these normal parameters. And there's some fun things that you can do with it when you use that as a sculpting tool. Okay, but now I have my basic lash shape. That's looking pretty good, and I'm ready to add the bottom to this, and I'm going to go over that in this next tutorial.